Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Ask Alma. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad you're here. Let me know you're here because I know your stimmy done dropped in that bank account and it's still daylight outside. So technically, you didn't have to hang out with me if you didn't want to, but I'm so glad you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Hello, hello, hello. Let me know you're watching. And I want to talk back to you. Okay, y'all. I was a little nervous about tonight because, like I said, it is daylight. So some of y'all still hanging out a little bit. Because, you know, I am friends with people who go home when it get dark. I'm not saying all. Yeah, no, that's our thing. Kay, girl, you saving that stimmy? Go ahead now. I'm so proud of you. So tonight, I got my good friends with me. Oh my goodness, feel like we all been invited to Lee's house for the cookout out back. Okay, so without holding on any longer, bring them on up in here.
Hey.
Hi, Dee Dee. How you doing?
Hey, Alma. How you been? I miss you so much.
I know, girl. It is really. Mary Lou. Hey, Lee. How you doing?
Hey, what's happening? What's going on, peeps?
Lori, I hear you up in the apple, in the Big Apple.
I am.
Yeah. And Robin just came back to her seat, y'all.
Hey, everybody. Hey,
I'm so glad y'all are here. Really, I am. I was having a little bit of anxiety, but I feel better now because I'm all with my peeps. I got my shot. Y'all got y'all shot. I only got one. I got one.
Not yet. I'm on the list. And as soon as I get back to Virginia, I should be good.
Good job.
Okay. Yeah, you got to get yours. You got to get it.
Yes, ma'am.
Lori, you better come on now because it's going fast down here. And see, we down here in Virginia, we getting that Pfizer.
Yes, Maryland. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because in the DMV, we getting that Pfizer because you know about that Pfizer now, right? See, that's the one Kizzy worked on. see, she took that chicken put a little extra gooby dust in it. You know.
You're a fool.
So it's 100%. It's 100% African Americans efficacy rate. 100%.
Oh, no wonder I feel so good.
Is that from the Lee Ivory School of Statistics and
an absolute fact from the CDC? It's 100%.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know,
my eyes been cleared up, Lee. My eyes been cleared up a little bit.
Let me tell you something. Y'all gonna think I'm lying. You're gonna think I'm lying now. All right. After I took the shot Saturday, I could play piano.
Stop.
What, you believe me?
Stop. You lying.
Stop it. We talking about the shots. Who got the shot? Let me know if y'all got it. Let me know if y'all got one.
That shot. No, I'm talking about.
We're talking about that vaccine shot, right? The vaccine shot.
Oh, I thought.
Yes.
You are incorrigible. You really are, right? Yes. Thank you, Robin. Add water, Lee.
Oh, but Lee, I'm right there with you. The stimmy drop.
But hey, you got to get on it so that you can hurry up and get the second shot and give 2 more weeks before, so we can get together.
And we get out.
Absolutely.
Talk to Shonda, Lee. We need to have a cookout.
We got to get together.
I'm ready.
I am so ready to get together.
We need another rib contest. We need another rib contest. This is probably 25 years, 30 years since we had the rib contest. I still have my crown, by the way, you know.
Oh, okay.
Chuck Johnson still says I cheated, which I didn't.
You did not.
So I looked.
You did not.
But I agree that, you know, the importance of it now that it's here. I know that there was, you know, some hesitancy, but really, if we want to get back to normal, we're going to have to jump in the fray.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to get back to normal.
Yeah.
You ready to go back to work? Oh, you're saying you're ready to get back to normal. Like concerts and stuff like that.
Seeing all of your new faces
back in the
person.
Oh, I thought you
No.
meant you're ready to go back in the office.
No, very
Why you
enjoyable
starting?
is not having the commute. That's very enjoyable.
I know.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I was just thinking I could drive to Lee's house because I got a full tank of gas. I think I've driven 10 miles in the last 6 months.
I know. Hey.
Right.
I had to get the oil change just because. Like,
right. I did too. Like, just because.
Just because.
Everybody been getting 4 months to the gallon. You know?
Right.
Insurance went down by
Carol.
itself.
I did.
That's Carol.
Hi, Carol.
And Manisha.
And Pat Walk Up is with us.
Mac, Manisha.
Okay, Manisha and Jocelyn.
That's Patricia Walker.
Pat Walker.
Nice.
I went to college with Jocelyn Jones, and she.
Okay, Jocelyn.
And let me give a shout out to Jocelyn. Jocelyn was our lead singer when we were in Baptist Student Union Choir at school, right? And so she's moved that into an acting career, and she just appeared in her first big Hollywood. She's been in other movies and lots of plays, but
Tracy.
Last week she just appeared in her first big Hollywood movie. It's called Cherry. It's starring Tom
Jocelyn.
I heard about that movie.
It stars Hooli. Who's in it? Who's in it?
The dude that plays Spider-Man is a star.
Okay, Jocelyn. So we gonna watch you, girl.
Jocelyn plays one of the bank tellers because the cat gets into robbing banks and stuff like that, and so she plays a really prominent role as a bank teller who's like, man, I ain't trying to play with you. Just, you know.
Like, take that foolishness out of here.
Right. Hey, Jocelyn, we're real proud of you, but listen.
Yes.
Put something in the chat for us. We know you know the backstory on Lee. Come on, put something in the chat for us, Jocelyn.
Put a little bit of something, because you know what?
A little bit.
And y'all know after we watch the movie she's in, we tell everybody about it and tell them about our real good friend Jocelyn.
That's right. We know Jocelyn.
Yeah, we know her. Oh yeah, I've been knowing her for a long time. Zaki, oh my goodness, that's my godbrother in Florida. I'm so glad you're watching us. Yay, that's so fantastic.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's Patricia Walker. Patricia Walker.
I know. I so enjoyed that, and so appreciate that. Pat is every week. We go to Pat's house too. She cooks.
Oh yes, she does.
I think you're on the hook, Pat. Think you're on the hook, Pat.
And Robin. As a matter of fact, all of my friends cook because I don't.
Oh, you cook. What are you talking about?
I do have to cook for Gill, and but y'all know I don't throw down like y'all throw down. So with all the invitations out, I'll be ready.
Well,
I wanted to ask y'all about Aretha before we get started. So I think we got a couple of minutes just to throw that out there. So who watched the movie? Who didn't watch the movie?
I watched it.
What'd you think, Dee Dee?
You know, I'm enjoying it. I don't know enough about her to make any kind of judgment on whether it's true or not. I mean, it's been enjoyable so far.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, I didn't see it. I've read several reports that
Pat.
Franklin's family was not in support of this version. And it may be because, you know, Jennifer Hudson's going to do the authorized movie on Aretha. So it may have been not only was this one put out, but it was put out ahead of the authorized version. That's not why I didn't see it. But
as I understand it, National Geographic got permission from the estate, but you know, the estate is divided. The family members are different places. So they did have some level of permission. I don't know what level, but I appreciated, you know, we've heard different interviews and stuff. What I really appreciated about the interview with Cynthia is that she was she spoke very kindly and respectfully about Jennifer and Aretha, and you know, there can be more than one, and she was very kind about it, as opposed to some of the other things I've seen where they're bad mouthing one or the other. So
Mary Lou said it was a little dark. I remember once when we were all at USA Today, something was happening. And remember when Gary Rawlins used to have that group email that went to everybody, and he said something about Aretha, and I said, I don't really like her that much. I don't think she can sing.
The Queen of Soul?
Yes, I did. I said it out loud. I ain't gonna sit here and act like I didn't. I said what I said. I don't think she can sing. You would have thought I could pull the blind. coming up to my desk giving me side eye, like, we gonna watch you going out to the parking lot after work today, right? So the next day, which I thought was really, really sweet on his part, Rodney Brooks did a tape for me. Because when he came over to the desk, in defense of my words, I said, I don't really think Pink Cadillac was all that good. So
well, I'm with you on that.
Pink Cadillac, that's all you got? I was like, what you got?
Clearly you weren't judging Aretha on this song she did for a movie.
That is what Rodney Brooks said to me. Right. So he made a CD, although, okay, I think, y'all, it was a cassette. He made a cassette tape of Aretha's songs for me and went like way back and everything, which I totally appreciated. But I do have to tell you honestly, when I listened to the cassette tape on the way to work, in traffic, I would still say that she really doesn't do much for me. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm gonna say one thing here. Okay.
Send me something. Send me a link, Lee, because I
ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Maybe the most controlled, beautiful song that a woman has ever laid on wax. You got to listen to "Ain't No Way." It's a perfect vocal.
I'm gonna listen to it one more time, Lee. I'm gonna listen to it, and then I'm gonna listen to Whitney, and then I'm gonna listen to Anita Baker. Yeah. But I'm gonna listen. Anita Baker. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anita does nothing for me.
Yeah, she's not in the.
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord.
Don't hang up, Lori.
you gotta hear redo. Oh, Christmas Tree, honey. If you ain't even got her Christmas album.
Christmas Tree?
Well, come on. You ain't heard Relay It Down.
But you need
you need to hear relay down some church music.
But that's what
man.
Yes.
I think, now
well, you know what? The documentary Amazing Grace, I had the luxury of seeing that at the Kennedy Center when they first opened Reach Against the Wall. It was beautiful. Sitting outside.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. That's on now, and you should watch that.
Yeah, you got to watch.
Tracy said that Patty does nothing for her, which has opened up something for me. The rest of y'all, let me know somebody, please.
Oh no!
Think it's fantastic, and you don't.
Patty is everything for me. Patty, Shaka, Aretha, those are my girls.
You holler too much. You know.
Right. Just scream.
No.
I know Marie. Hey,
Marie Lou, Anita Baker, girl. Delete
Marie,
that.
All I'm gonna say is this. All I'm gonna say is
Aretha don't do nothing for me, Kay.
You ain't never seen Anita Baker and Michael McDonald in the same room.
See, you should be ashamed.
What? You can't make out the words.
I did see Anita with Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
Oh,
they weren't.
That's a whole nother level.
Girl, Luther.
But what do you think of Gladys? No one's mentioned Gladys Knight.
Gladys can go. Now Gladys is. I mean,
consensus. Okay.
Gladys' voice, it just gets better.
Yes.
Gladys got 3 notes. Gladys has exactly 3 notes. She got 4 notes. Okay, Gladys got 4 notes.
Now she works
and Gladys kills all 4 of those notes.
He is clear about it.
You know, which is a lesson for all those people who like to do all those runs and run through all the range. No. Gladys got 4 notes.
Thank you, Tracy.
And Gladys will take you down in her 4 notes.
Yes, she will. She looks good too. She looks good.
She sure does.
You know what? I love when y'all are with me. Lord knows I do, because we just really have a good time. And while we're on Ask Alma this evening, I have to say that we are a group of people who will give you our opinions. We are not certified psychologists. So if you have a serious situation going on, the disclaimer is that you reach out to somebody who is a professional who can help you. Because right now we're getting ready to get some questions, and we're just going to give you some common sense answers on what we think you should do. Okay, so y'all ready? Y'all ready to get into this evening?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We will continue the conversation with the music at Lee's when he talks to Chandra, and we can, have the cookout at his place.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Alrighty. Question number 1.
Hey guys, my name is Patrice, and I'm this week's VVR for Ask Alma. Dear Alma, I desperately need your advice. My son passed in 2016. He has 2 adult daughters with a woman he never married. I recently found out there's another woman who is related to my grandchildren's mother, who says she too has a baby by my son. This is the first time I'm hearing of this, and my son isn't here to defend himself. I don't know if it's true or not. The mother of my grandchildren found out that the woman reached out and told me this information, and now she's angry at me that I didn't tell her about it. I don't think it was my place to bring this up to her. She's threatening to not allow me to see my grandchildren, and I don't know if I can take not seeing them. I've already lost my son, and I can't imagine not seeing my grandchildren. What do you think, Alma? Should I have told her about the other woman?
What a sad, sad question. Yeah. Recap. This woman lost her son. The mother of her grandchildren found out that somebody else said that they had a child by him and reached out to her, and she did not tell the other woman. So now the woman's mad at her and says, hey, I may have to keep your grandchildren from you, because I'm thinking that she thinks the woman doesn't have alliances with her. So I know what I think, but Dee, let's start with you. What do you think?
You were going to
Why did she
just jump in?
Is she the first one in my box?
Oh, it isn't her place. I mean, wasn't her place to go to her. And why would she even believe that she doesn't continue to have an alliance with her? And you worry about your 2 kids and their relationship with their father's mother, and you let that other woman worry about all that over there. Whenever we have a letter that talks about taking children away from people that love them, I have an issue with that, because the children in no way, shape, or form are responsible for this adult behavior, and they should not suffer. So I say, leave it alone. Stop being mad.
Lee, Mr. Mayor.
Well, I do think I agree with Dee. I think it's an overreaction on the woman's part, that she's talking about not or threatening or implying a threat that she won't let the grandkids come around her. Having said that, I don't see the harm in her mentioning that the kids may have another sibling. I mean, it's not that big a deal. It's not necessarily her duty to do it, but I don't have a problem with her mentioning that.
Now, she said they are related, both women.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's how they're related. I heard that, but I didn't get that.
Yeah.
They are related.
Ew.
So, yeah.
It's messy. It's messy, but I mean, it ain't gonna get any less messy because
it's out there now.
Yeah, it's out there. He's gone, and right now it's all about the children knowing their siblings and everybody trying to get along, and just put all this foolishness behind them. You know what I mean?
Well, but I think I'm in agreement that weaponizing the children is just the wrong thing to do. But also, she says that she never heard of this other grandchild. So without any evidence, and the only way to get that is to have the DNA of the known grandchildren and the DNA of the just learned of grandchildren. Right. And if these 2 women are at odds, clearly they are, they may not allow such to happen. That said, when you have, she herself is uncertain, that up pops this woman and says, hey, I'm Nana to you're Nana to my child too.
Right.
Like you said, there's a lot of foolishness in there. Mm-hmm. I probably would not have run to the other one to say, hey, guess what I just heard, either, because it really sounds like some evil going on between these 2 women. Yes. Y'all handle that pack of foolishness on your own.
Robin
You know,
Smith.
but in terms of grandparents, I'm thinking there's grandparents' rights. In most states, there's some such thing as grandparents' rights, where if she really wanted to press it, legally, she could say, no, I get to see my grandchildren.
I hope they resolve the issue. It's so silly to go to court over this. I really don't even get what the mother is angry about. I too would have, as the grandmother, I wouldn't have said anything to her because
she said the grandmother should have said something to her.
I understand that's her position, but I'm with the grandmother. It wasn't mine to tell. I don't have DNA
evidence.
Right.
Well, how did she find out if the grandmother didn't tell her? I mean, did the other woman tell her?
If they related, maybe somebody in the family told somebody.
Another reason why, as the grandmother, I would not have said anything.
Yeah, y'all handle that over there.
If I had no DNA confirmation, I'm not going to stir up that kind of.
Well, it also presupposes something about her son that she is not likely ready to look in the face either.
Right.
Because, if it's true, it's foul. And so, it also presupposes something about her son that she's, you know what, y'all, it's too much. Just dealing with his death is enough.
Something is missing, though. Is there some kind of claim to money? I can't understand why the mother is so angry enough to threaten to withhold the children. It doesn't make sense.
Well, see,
she just hurt. That's all.
That's what I think too, Lee. That she's mad and angry. She can't lash out at the guy because sadly he has passed away. So who's the next person that she can lash out to associated with him would be his mother.
His mother, short of his own children.
Yes,
exactly.
As the elder in the group, as being the grandmother, I would, just try to, invite her over for some tea and cookies.
Ooh, I wouldn't. Go ahead. You're such a big girl.
Because
is she pulling out the teacups or
because sadly
the glass I'm using is not a teacup.
Sadly, our elders are the ones who have to bridge the gap and sometimes be the bigger person in family affairs.
I would in this, and don't get me wrong,
I do, because I want this to be nipped in the bud. She can't.
But she needs evidence. Even her son's children.
It doesn't even matter.
They're related.
It doesn't matter.
They're related. Why do you have to fix the tea? Somebody in their family where they related can fix the tea and come back and tell you.
She's angry at me, and she's threatening my grandchildren. Okay, and I don't want for my hackles to be up and me not setting aside money and Christmas gifts and things like that. I want us to have peace because I want to care for my grandchildren. I want to put things aside. But if you're going to be a type of person that likes to pull the string on me, I'll cut it off for you.
Right.
That's all it is manipulation. That's all it is.
The two women are related, so clearly that's a mess over there.
I'm not interested in that.
We can't rely on them to.
I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in being the statesperson of the family and letting the young woman understand that family is important and we can't play these kind of games.
It is, but I'm gonna tell you, Granny can flip that script a little bit too now, because there ain't no 100% guarantee that them other kids are his other sons. So if you want to play that, we gonna have that's all the way around
for everybody.
But that wasn't question. That wasn't up for question, was it?
No, it's not. But now it is. Now it is.
Right.
If you talking like you gonna withhold and all this kind of stuff.
From me, right.
Wait a minute, say what? So since you don't believe her, maybe I should believe you since you threatened.
Exactly.
Okay.
And grandma's got the DNA of everybody, of all the kids. So really, it could be grandma and just the grand. Come, let's go for an outing, children.
Come. Your hair.
Took us to this place. It's when they put Q-tips in our mouth.
Yeah, exactly, D. Exactly. And let's get it all settled.
We're taking a field trip.
I'm not doing that either.
Is it still Chuck E. Cheese? Where y'all take kids now? Because you know I don't take kids. I don't even know where you take kids.
We're having a pizza party. Come on, everybody, take a bite. What?
That's right.
Wipe your mouth.
Grandma, why are you pulling my hair out?
Yeah. Right. Don't throw the crust away. Let Nana have it. This would be so settled. This would be so settled.
That's the kind of tea that I would like to serve with this situation.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, indeed.
Grandma, she'd be shuffling DNA papers like cards.
You get
one, you get you
That's
get
it. That's it. They prove everybody else off of a pizza crust. We would have a big pizza party and let it be.
Because that's the thing. It seems to me, evidently, since they are related and have not sort of had that conversation between the two of them, then there might be a need for Robin's civilized approach, but I don't find that civilized approach would be
so nice.
Right.
I'm all about the pizza party. Bam, we got it in one fell swoop.
Lori has Ziploc bags in her purse.
I need all the crust. Give Grandma all the crust.
Lori, once you find out somebody is not of the right, is not in the family, what you gonna do with that information?
No, our little outing is done. Look, now I don't have to ever see your grandchildren. Remember that little threat you gave me?
That's just it. That's just it, Lori. Your position
that's not going to happen. You're going to continue to see those children.
See your grandchildren.
Yes.
And if you want to see the grandchildren, the best thing to do is to iron it out and nip it in the bud.
Well, yeah, but once they're her grandchildren, that's it. Then we get to see them. Hopefully, it doesn't escalate to grandparents' rights and all of that. Then we have a meeting of the minds, and it's good. But I'm talking about.
And now you think I'm going to hire a lawyer for that?
No. But I'm talking about the side chick and her baby, right? Yeah. She's already accepted the others. The woman she knew about. She's accepted those children as her grandchildren.
Yeah, but that woman is the one is causing the friction that you're going to have to hire a lawyer.
But it's friction because of the side chick and her child. And so either you're the one talking about being the big girl.
No, she's
so if you're going to be the big girl, be the big girl.
No, it's friction because she thinks the grandmother was withholding information from her, whether it comes out to be true or not. She thinks the grandmother is not being loyal to her.
You know what really disappoints me? You know what disappoints me is that there isn't more of respect and reverence for the grandmother. Right. That's what irritates me. That's what bothered me from both of them. Like you're gonna bring some mess like that to grandma who lost her son, and this is what you got for her.
Right.
Like I would be real mad for a while.
Really, for real.
Maybe homegirl is mad because she ain't sure who the side chick was.
Or it wasn't who she thought it was.
Or it's her sister or her cousin. Or
right.
Maybe she was the side chick.
Oh, she didn't know which one was the side.
She was the side chick, and the other chick was the.
It could be. It really could be all of that. But the reality is to threaten the grandmother. But 2 steps back. 2 steps back. 2 steps back is let me gather allies. Right. So that's all she's really saying. Let me get the grandmother and the known grandchildren on the same page. This is just gathering allies so that if she did need to escalate, she's got her crew already if she needs to escalate against this other woman. So that too has its own level of manipulation. I sincerely hope it works out without legal things, that it works out, everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. All right, let's talk. How do we know this?
I would have it out. Because God forbid, and I'm praying for all the mothers who have lost a son. But if you come to me that way, knowing that my son is no longer here, I got something for you first.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Why are you bringing me this foolishness now?
Let me cuss you.
Yeah, it's
the way I need to cuss you first. Then we can move on to the grandkids. But I got to do this with you for even attempting to bring messiness to me right now, the way I feel and will feel for the rest of my life.
Right.
Because this has happened. So, and I do think that this is, I'm not trying to be judgmental, don't get me wrong. Like I think tea and cookies and crumpets and all of that is fine. But in this email, I think a cuss out is necessary.
A cuss out is that
like I said, this is all we offering is common sense.
Right.
We don't have a PhD in psychology, but a cuss out is warranted because you know what, mama? While you drying your tears, it will make you feel better.
Yeah.
Cuss her out first. Then we can talk about the situation with the grandkids. But the fact that she bought that to your front door.
Right.
See, she better be cool because grandma done gave her a 2-piece.
Yeah. And it is the first time they learned of all of this. So she had plenty of time to walk that her way. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Let's hope cooler heads and common sense prevail.
After the cuss out, yes, I do.
If I get the cussing, it's over.
Cussing is over.
I'm cutting y'all off.
I'm right there with you, Robin. No middle. No middle ground with me. I'm either over here or I'm over there. And,
that's it. I get the cussing, it's over.
I feel better even just telling her that. Like I do. I feel better, y'all. I do.
I don't feel better. I'm just getting started. I'm gonna burn the house down now.
Oh Lord.
And don't let me find out the foolishness ain't true. And now we are on another level for a pack of foolishness.
I'm saying now.
Honestly, with this question, we don't have an answer for you. We're gonna need you to cuss somebody out and then send us another email, and then we can
let me know where y'all are down the line.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if she took the DNA and none of them?
Now that's a cuss out right there, baby.
But you know what? The grandmother is still going to treat those kids like her grandchildren. We know the truth. They're going to still be. They're
depending on how old they are, depending on how old they are.
Come on. Robin is putting them out, but if you've had a relationship this long, you're going to continue to have a relationship.
No, because at that point, I'm gonna go back to that heifer that brought me that crap in the first place and say,
that hussy. Yes, girl, that hussy.
Oh, by the way, since we throwing shade, here's a package for you.
Right.
Yeah.
There you
Here's
go.
a package for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Clearly.
You get a package. You get a package.
Like the great R&B philosopher Denise LaSalle used to say, "Now run and tell that."
Not run and tell
that.
That is how we gonna end that one. I love that. I love that. That's the answer to that question. Run and tell that.
Manisha said, "This is better than watching all my children."
Yes, indeed. Okay, friends of mine, we are ready for question number 2.
Dear Alma, I'm not sure how to handle this problem. My sister-in-law is a pastor of the church we and our entire family attends. I often confide in her because we're friends and she's easy to talk to. She always gives me sound advice, and I appreciate that. But the problem is, she's always using my business in her sermons, and I don't like that. What should I do?
The first time you heard your business in a sermon, you needed to stop sharing your business with her.
But wait, because quite honestly, y'all, I was thinking when I was reading this, sometimes I'm watching online now. I was going to say sometimes I'll be sitting in church, but sometimes I'll be sitting in church and think like, ooh, are they talking to me?
About me?
Right. That's what's supposed to happen, but when specifics get laid, that's what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to walk up your street and say, ma'am, I need you to get in line. When they make specifics, that's different.
I know.
Yes.
Look,
We need the whole family there. But you sharing a story about someone with somebody that's never going to know that you had that story is one thing. Her entire family, you know, they probably look around going, "She's talking about Shirley again."
Lord have mercy.
She didn't
that weekend. She disappeared.
Right.
Tracy Harrington and Barbara Ware say, "Cuss her out."
Wow.
Well, see, that's what hey, you got after the sermon. When they doing the little fried chicken stuff, you need to go tap on the shoulder and say, "Hey, boo boo, let me talk to you."
Holla at you.
Yeah, holla at you.
Well, but Robin hit something, and you too, Alma, at the start. For sure, the Spirit will reveal, and something in the Word says, "Ooh, that's me." But when specifics start being laid bare,
last Thursday outside the grocery.
Yeah. I don't know that we get to blame that on the Spirit.
Right.
So, because you will hear the children of ministers say the same thing. You will hear the children say, he or she done put all the little family business out there.
My father never did that.
Or the sermon leads with some kind of analogy that has to, as a way to getting into what the Word says. And everybody's got resentment of it for sure. Because it's kind of like, I really didn't say that so you could put me on blast with it. That's the feeling becomes, even though something helpful may come out of it, even though you're never the only person going through the same thing, the sense of it is you're putting me on blast. Right. And I viewed it as me telling you something in confidence. And so that's worth the conversation. And what, sadly, what it could possibly lead to is them not sharing anymore. And that's even a little more detrimental to the other person.
She can find somebody else to share with.
Them. Well, but I'm sensing she's sharing with a pastor because she's looking for a particular answer. But she did say the woman was her friend as well.
Her sister-in-law.
Her sister-in-law. So maybe she thought this was good conversation. You're right. She could tell anybody else, but what is she wanting in telling that conversation? And if she's wanting something that's going to be more of a spiritual feedback, she's telling this woman for a reason. And so, that's worth the conversation to say, "Hey, boo, because we good. We sisters-in-law, we good friends, we good. Let me holler at you for a minute."
I think that just still has to be a little level of respect. My first cousin is a pastor. And when she first started preaching, whenever she would say something like, "Well, when I grew up, we'd all be clutching the pews because we didn't know what was coming next," right? But then we realized that she was never going to put us out,
right
on the street, on Front Street.
Proper way to do it.
Right. Some of the examples certainly we would recognize pretty quickly. And she would tell her own business, about,
precisely.
Absolutely. She would tell her own business, and even to the embarrassment of some of us, like, you ain't got to tell all that. But she never did that to us. You have to have some level of respect.
I agree.
And some, what's the word?
Fear.
Because even if you are going to tell somebody else's stuff, tell it in some generality.
Yes.
So that we don't know. Some
discretion, right.
Unless we were there and we got to clutch now the pews too, saying, oh, where are you going with that? But, short of that, tell your stuff. Use your stuff.
When you're fan.
Yeah, exactly, G. Exactly.
All right now.
Exactly.
See that, and part of this, I think, is lazy preparation.
Correct.
Ding.
Absolutely.
Because
you're the winner, Alma.
If all you can come up with is what your sister-in-law is confiding in you, then you need to do a little bit more studying.
Exactly.
Sound like she calling home Saturday night. So, girl,
right. Look, I got to preach tomorrow. What's been going on?
What
you can hear her thinking, goes, and then what happened?
Well, being an in-law is a unique situation anyway. So she's taking it,
right.
She's creating some real problems if she's married to her brother or how she is in the family, that's just messy. She needs to stop doing
that. Yeah. For sure.
It really undermines her credibility.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Hi, Dana.
But Pat Walker does ask a pertinent question here, in that I wonder if she does that to other people.
Well, she was like, no, it's primarily her, and they talk, and she's talking about her stuff.
But you don't know about the other people. What the other people have told her.
Right. Is the pastor doing it with everybody when they come in and talk about stuff? Then y'all
which again breaches all kinds of trust. It just breaches all kinds of trust.
If she is doing it with other people, she ain't going to be around long.
Well, the membership starts dwindling, we'll know that she's telling everybody's business.
Yeah.
You're to the pulpit with a black eye.
Yeah. And to Alma's good observation, that's just lazy.
Yes.
There's enough in the word to talk about.
Yes, absolutely.
Pull it together.
You don't. So, we're all in agreement with the answer to this, young lady. Thank you for the email. But
Dana says the pastor is using the pulpit to gossip.
Absolutely. Thank you. I totally agree. And I think, she is, when Janine said, I would have my trial sermon on Facebook Live and tell her tea. Because, that's a family member of mine. I told y'all we'll cuss you. No, let me just. Dameen, that's a good one. But the other part of this for me is when you speak to a counselor or a pastor, it is supposed to be in strict confidence. So the fact that she isn't doing that means that there's something a little bit shaky about how she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. So,
but she may be speaking to her as a sister-in-law and not as a member of the cloth, but still.
And that's what you need to clarify.
Well, or she's operating falsely, that because she has not said this woman's name directly, she thinks she is operating in confidence.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I never said it was you. Well, again, your family and the whole family goes to the church, so at least half the body knows you're talking about me. So it's kind of squirrely. It's squirrely.
And it's funny that you guys should say that, because in the actual print copy of this question that's in the newspaper, I said that you need to be clear with her and let her know that you are not speaking to her as pastor to sister-in-law. You're speaking to her sister-in-law to sister-in-law, and it should be confidential, and she should not take it into any of her studies to then unfold it in the pulpit in any way.
But the same holds speaking to you, parishioner to pastor. The same holds.
Yeah. But you know what?
This to pastor.
But this pastor ain't got there yet, evidently.
Yeah.
So she, she's still need a little bit more time. Right. She will.
One of these days.
One of these days. Yeah. This is really good, guys. That's very, very good advice to her. Thank you for that. So here we are, ready for the last question of the evening. And before we play it, I want to thank Patrice Wormley, our VVR of the evening. Patrice, you did a fantastic job. Thank you.
Fantastic job, Patrice.
Thank you.
Patrice.
So we are ready for question number 3.
Hey, Alma. I have a foster daughter, age 14, who has been living in my home for 4 months. She is set in her ways, and I try hard to help her control some of her bad habits. She has an uncontrollable mouth that I have been trying to work with her on. Her mother was an alcoholic, so the child has a problem with adults drinking. I like to have my wine here and there, so I have a bar in my basement. I keep the door locked to keep the foster daughter from going down there. I try my best to keep her away from the alcohol. I find myself sneaking my wine in a coffee cup so she won't see me drinking. I like to have fun with my family, but I feel I have to change my lifestyle for her, which my foster daughter doesn't appreciate. She's reported me several times to the agency, and now I feel that my children are in danger because of this foster child's allegations against me. Alma, what do you think I should do?
Lee Ivory. Do we need to recap, or you guys got that pretty clearly?
I got it.
Lita, you have a bar in your basement.
Yeah, I got it. Now, there was a couple of key words you used there, Lord. Do I have a bar in
your basement? That's exactly right.
Thank you. Now,
I'm agreeing with you.
How did you say that, Lee?
Look at Leah. Look at Leah.
I'm with Lee. I'm fully agreeing with Lee.
Okay. Hey, I'm Leah.
Leah says send her back.
But you know what? I have a forgiving heart, and so I'm gonna sit this child down and have a heart-to-heart conversation with her. Say, listen, I know you've been through a lot with your family, with your mom, and stuff like that, and drinking is a big thing for you. I get that, okay? But you're a child, and you're in my house, and my rules go. I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to get drunk and pull out a razor and have you, up against the refrigerator, nothing like that. I'm going to do what I do respectfully, but you got to respect me. And, putting her other children at risk, with the authorities, that's unacceptable, because that stuff gets written down and it goes in your file. You know what I'm saying? And so at some point, somebody, is gonna, start casting a wary eye, saying, well, maybe she's complained 10, 15 times. Maybe there's something there, when there's really not. So I would have that conversation with her. And if she doesn't straighten up and fly right, it's time for her to go.
Leah, who takes everybody's child, and really, girl, don't try. She is like over at the neighbor's house collecting their kids. So, girl, yeah, I got that from you. Don't try it.
Right. Like, go.
Leah has
Alma, did you say that the child had reported her 7 times?
Something like that.
Let's see. It says several. She just said several. Yeah, several. Yeah. So. Drinking wine in the coffee cup.
Right. Can I go next, Alma?
Yes, please.
I think, this is really intense the way it's laced. You got a 14-year-old who's got problems that she didn't invite. But also she's a child. And in her immaturity, you're in somebody else's house for 4 months. You run nothing, even in your own house at 14. Right. You run nothing. But because she is a kid, and I don't say this uncharitably, because she is a child who perhaps has raised herself, that at age 14, her mouth is out of control. She probably feels betrayed because what's happened to her parentally. So you knew when you brought her in, you were bringing in a situation that was going to need a little different attention. So there's a lot going on. You got a kid who's in the wrong. And I won't say that the parent's in the wrong, because in her heart, she says, okay, I want to give you a shelter. I want to give you clothing. I want to give you food, whatever all those trappings are, plus some siblings. Now, but because the kid is so off the chain, the kid thinks it's okay to pick up a phone and say, hey, let me tell you about this woman who's got wine in her coffee cup. You don't know what's in my coffee cup. you don't know what's in my coffee cup.
She's telling me wine in her coffee cup.
Yeah. So I'm kind of thinking, she might be in foster care for some other reasons other than mama had a drinking problem. So there's sensitivities, I think, all around, because clearly the child has an issue, but the woman who is helping her out, taking her in, whatever the role is here, the foster mother has to also understand, okay, I've got damaged goods here, and I've got to make good. I've got to operate in good faith on that. If I know this is a trigger for this child,
right? Exactly.
Then I can drink at night when everybody's in bed.
You don't get a foster child.
Come on here.
You don't get a foster child without all of that information available.
Yeah.
And everybody has a big heart and says, I want to be a foster parent, but not everyone is cut out to do that.
Correct.
And if I know that I'm getting a 14-year-old who is 13 and 6 months before I ever met her, just a regular, stable home teenager can be a nightmare. So you bringing in a child into your home who has all of this going on, then she knew that from the beginning.
Correct.
And so I have to make some concessions. I get the respect. It's my house. Things are run a certain way. But if I decided to bring in a child who has issues with alcohol or authority or any of those things, I have to be prepared to adjust my life for that. Am I going to do that? Am I going to do that forever? No. But I have to give 4 months is no time. I mean, no time at all to establish any kind of relationship with this young lady.
Correct.
So and you say, I want to give you love. I want to give you this. Well, that's not what foster care is about. I mean, you can give a puppy love. I mean, this child needs severe interventions. And at 14,
and she doesn't mention counseling.
Right. So there's a lot of things that need to happen. And I would lock up my liquor and I would drink in my bedroom where she could not see me.
And your sippy cup too,
I got my sippy cup.
I know you got a cute sippy cup.
And parents do all kinds of things around kids. Do all kinds of things that kids don't know about. Yeah.
There are certain things I didn't eat crabs in front of my child. I wait till he went to bed because I didn't want to share my crabs with him. Right. So you have to make some. I think you have to make some concessions for a child that.
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with Christina. Don't send her back. Thank you, Christina.
Yeah, we're not sending her. Hey, Christina.
You know what? Too, when Josh was like around 11, 12, I moved the alcohol. Because y'all know I watch HGTV. So I got this table and put the wine refrigerator that was really cute too, under the table and then under a tablecloth. So we kept all the liquor in our bedroom. Not that was the only place that we drank it, but it wasn't out around the house where he could see it, because when you're a teenager, or maybe it was just me, I was trying to sip on my parents, got in trouble for it. I can remember getting really sick, and my mom was in the bathroom with me. I was just throwing up because I think I had drank like a whole bottle of her wine or something. But
I think I did that.
What? Both of them in heaven now. I can tell the truth. What had happened was, and you know what? Where's Bessie? Is Lillian on the? I hope she is watching tonight. So, do you guys remember? It used to be, and Pat Walker, she cooks, so she could probably let me know about this too. I had to be, somewhere around 8 or 9. I had drank my mother's Manischewitz. Y'all remember that? Because I think it used to be like a beef stew that you could make with the Manisch. Right, it was good. I drank all of that. I don't even know why. I don't even know what I thought it was. I was in the bathroom, sick as all get out, and Carol, my lovely mother, God rest her soul, sweet woman, was in there just rubbing my back and taking care of me and putting the cold washcloth on my head and all that, put me to bed. She was all in. And then she went down there to cook her beef, whatever, and saw that the bottle was empty.
And you got cussed.
Look, more than cussed, whooped my butt, because I was confused, almost like the foster child. 1 minute you had the washcloth on my head. 2 minutes later, you in here after me.
Well, you're not alone, Alma, because the chat is just blowing up with, I used to drink the vodka and refill the bottle with water.
Oh, no.
Yes, it did.
They didn't look. My mother, everybody in town was scared of my mother. All my friends, half teachers, the police were scared of my mother. You know what I mean? And so we didn't play that at all.
Right. But you did drink outside the house, D.
No,
I
didn't drink. I'm,
listen, my family drank enough for everybody. I didn't drink until I was an adult.
When I was in high school, I had a car. When I was 11th grade, going into my senior year, and so my mother, the deal was, because I was at church boy that did all the speeches in church, right? And so my mother had the church lady mafia watching me. I couldn't do nothing.
That explains so much.
That explains so much. Thank you, D.
Revelations.
Now I get it.
And so my mother was like, if I hear of you speeding, if I hear you burning rubber, if I hear that there was so much as a beer in that car, it's my car. And so she had me thinking that she had eyes everywhere, which she
did.
Yeah, she
so
did.
I didn't like drink a couple of beers, maybe in high school, a couple of beers or something like that every now and then. But no.
They said she was a model prisoner.
Right.
So right, you, Kay, and Lee waited until y'all were freshmen to do everything. I am grateful that my mother, the first lady of the church, when I would ask if I could do things, and my dad was like, I don't think. And she would be like, no, because if we don't let her, she gonna take off on the first night and try to do it all in 3 hours. So no, we're gonna trust her a little bit. But
you see my homeboy here?
Marvin.
That's why he was mad as hell in college.
I went to college with Marvin.
See, that's what we were waiting on Jocelyn to tell us the story. But
Jocelyn's story, right?
Sharon Flanagan, check your messenger. I think I sent you a message today that I need you to answer. Or if I didn't, I'll resend it. Hey, Sharon.
Before we get away, I saw a comment in the chat. I wanted to mention about back to the foster parent. Mm-hmm. It says perhaps the foster parent needs to call a meeting with the child and the agency.
Yeah, that's
my occasional one is triggering this child. We need therapy or perhaps another home.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think to take a minute and explain to her that every cup of something doesn't result in, being knocked down, drunk, or whatever it was that she saw.
Which is part of her trauma.
Right.
Yeah. Christina says that sending her back is just adding proof that a young girl's story that she's not lovable or deserving of love.
Exactly.
They push the boundaries until there's someone who stands up for them.
Yeah, and I do think, you got to go with the coffee cup. I'm not saying that is disrespectful in your house, but there's a situation going on in your house that's bigger than you taking your sips out in public. To me,
just take the bottle to the bathroom.
Yeah, but see, it's a both and though, Alma.
Leave it into the sink. Listen, we all worked with someone. We all know someone that used to know. Maybe that wasn't your paper. That was my paper. Where the person had liquor in a mouthwash bottle. That was one of my other sites. And was swigging. He had the freshest breath around. Was swigging. Every news story he kept some mouthwash. So she can put it in a unmarked. Yeah,
but the thing is that we all hid things from our children.
Yes,
it's not like you walking around naked as a jaybird doing what you feel like anytime you want to when you have a house full of children.
Eggs, right.
Well,
some of us scramble eggs naked. That don't mean nothing.
Well, but I'm going to add. But go ahead, Robin.
They spend the night over somebody else's house. Yeah, that's when you do it.
So true.
Yeah. But this must be said as well. The 14-year-old has to have guardrails put on her.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You don't have
after that conversation. Like she knows how to do is lash out now. That's all she knows how to do. So once they have a conversation with her and kind of explain things, I think it will.
It's not going to be a conversation. It's going to be
but you know what's going to be a conversation? What's going to be a conversation is that you at 14 calling authorities on me. That's one conversation.
Right. Yes.
No. When you talk about having a kid understand who's the adult and who's the child, look how traumatized you are. At 14, you calling police on me?
But I think
that is one conversation,
and the agency tells them
part of what she knows.
Right,
that know anything different than
which means she's been doing it and doing it and doing it. So see, some stuff has to squelch.
Reason, but maybe she's
in another house.
Guys, no, missing the point totally. The police give you.
I know what is going to happen in your house.
Yeah, exactly, because the police give you one shot. The police give you one shot. So some stuff just has to be understood. I'm going to deal with you. I'm going to work with you, etc.
I think she's calling the police.
Some stuff gets one shot.
She called the agency.
I think she's calling the which
okay.
It's important to distinguish between the two. I think she's calling the agency.
I agree, but then we're back to what Lee was saying. Now I got stuff in the record that says what? Right. I'm a lush.
Until I think they investigate it, and I think there's a little bit, and
there's an expectation of problems. She's 14. She's probably been in multiple houses. They expect
that. Get all of that.
Hey y'all! Oh my gosh! Like, I'm sorry, but our hour is up.
Oh no!
So what did you tell them? So what did you tell the person?
What did you tell? Yeah.
I will post the Ask Alma column in the chat, and you guys can read my answer. How about that?
Okay.
Lee Ivory, I love you. Lori Grant, I love you. Robin Smith, I love you. Dee Dee, girl, I love you too. Y'all, these are my peeps. You hear me? And I am so glad you guys are here. Like I tell you every time, can y'all join us like next month would be fantastic.
Yes, that's what's up.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes. If we could do this panel again, it would be fantastic.
Safe drive, Lori. Be safe on the road.
Safe driving, Lori.
Get that shot. Get that
shot. Absolutely.
That's right.
And what's the name?
I'm not throwing away my shot.
What's the name of that sausage you talking about again?
Roger Woods.
Yeah.
Okay, Lori, you gonna bring us some sausage. But just give mine to Lee, because I want him to cook mine and
put it on the grill.
So we can come on over to their house.
There we go. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.